Jesus Christ, man. You ready? Hey, what's good? It's Niner No Shit. We're closing out the season strong. We got the Super Bowl coming up, which we're fucking pumped on. And Chaz and I were just talking. We're gonna keep this shit going all through the off season, and so it's gonna be limited coverage, but it's gonna be exciting. We're gonna talk about like the free agency, the draft, and et cetera, et cetera. So if you're not subscribed, do yourself a favor, find us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and participate in the conversation. All right, here we go. The Niners are in the Super Bowl. And if you remember, I've been predicting this all season long. I had a lot of optimism in the beginning of the season, third year under Kyle Shanahan. And after week 6, after the game against the Rams, I said I thought this team would go 13-3. We did go 13-3, so I wasn't wrong there. I said barring injury, we should make it to the Super Bowl, but then it's a coin flip when you play teams like the Patriots, or I guess we didn't know, but like the Ravens or the Chiefs are teams where you play them in the Super Bowl, and the best you can do is hope that it's going to be that you have a puncher's chance to win that game. I think the Niners do, and I want to break it down as we go forward. But right now, we're here, and we should be celebrating the stakes of it. You forget that the NFL playoffs, there is no time off in the playoffs. You have to play and play hard every quarter, every play, or you could go home. There's no series. And that means that there's higher stakes in the NFL playoffs than there are in any other sports playoffs. And so I forgot, and maybe we all did, that the playoffs are like 3 parts excitement, 1 part anxiety. Like you think about the other teams that you have to play and how good they are, and you just you can convince yourself that your team isn't as good as it is. What happens if we can't stop the Vikings running game? Well, we broke the Viking spirit, and it wasn't even close. And then we thought about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. There's no way we can dominate the Packers twice in one season. Well, we beat the brakes off the Packers the second time. We did it the first time. We did it the second time. So it comes down to believing in what you've seen and not trying to expect or anticipate what's going to happen and be the first one to say, man, doom and gloom is coming. That's not how you do it. No, you got to be first and be positive and be optimistic. And that's what we were all season. And that's why I think the 49ers are going to beat the shit out of the Cincinnati Chiefs. I don't know why that feels so good to say, but I know they're Kansas City, but it's just disrespectful. Anyway, hey, man, the Chiefs are, just to get this out of the way, the Chiefs are my papa's favorite team. R.I.P. My papa passed away a few years back. They were his favorite team, and he would be so happy. And my dad, too, who passed away. Those guys would be fucking stoked, probably yelling at each other watching this game. So this game holds a place in my heart. The Chiefs definitely hold a fond place in my heart. But fuck you, Pat Mahomes. It's time for the 6th Super Bowl for the 49ers. So let's break it down. Well, the first thing I want to talk about is the Chiefs' offense. How do you stop the Chiefs' offense? The Chiefs' offense is predicated on speed, and the 49ers have one of the fastest defenses in the NFL. Our defensive line is just made up of athletic freaks. You have Bosa, Ford, you have Buckner and Armstead, who look like power forwards in a position where you usually have a 315-pound guy, little spark plug, fire hydrant fella. You have 2 just giant guys, very athletic, big wingspan. Also, our linebackers are fast as fuck, son. Hot boys. You know them. I know them. The block is hot. Fred Warner, Quan Alexander, and Dre Greenlaw are fast, prototypical speed linebackers, off-the-ball linebackers. Our secondary is sufficiently athletic. They're not burners. Nobody's a burner in our secondary, but they win with scheme and technique. They run a lot of zone, and Richard Sherman is really smart. I know he's coaching all those dudes up, especially Mosley, on how to read and recognize certain route combinations and know what they're doing by the way they line up, where their split is. So that's how the secondary beats you. So yes, we don't have the fastest secondary, and that may burn us a time or two during this game because these guys are fucking fast. What we need to do is disrupt that speed, keep them out of rhythm, and play really physical, play bully ball. And we've been doing that all season. We got to punch the ball out, and we got to get to Pat Mahomes. So Pat Mahomes is obviously a transcendent talent. People are making the comparison of Pat Mahomes to Dan Marino with their arm talent, as people like to say. Just their ability to put the ball out deep, and then they have quick release. And Pat Mahomes does things with the ball that really do remind me of like Steph Curry, with his like ball handling skills and his improvisation. He is something super special. And he's going to end up probably on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks by the end of his career. But we can get to him. He is going to want to hold on to that ball longer than is recommended versus our defense and our pass rush. Aaron Rodgers did that. He fell prey to that too. Aaron Rodgers loves to hold on to the ball and be like, man, with one more second, I would have I would have thrown a touchdown, but instead the ball's out. So we're going to get to Pat Mahomes. The question is, can we get him down when we get there? A lot of people are making comparisons between Pat Mahomes and Russell Wilson and Pat Mahomes and Kyler Murray. I wish there was a white guy I could throw in there too, so I can kind of break it up. I don't think it's just because he's an African American fellow. I feel like I just turned into Barack Obama for a second. But anyway, it's because he can get away. But I don't think that he has the same scramble ability as Russell Wilson or as Kyler Murray. He doesn't have that low center of gravity. I would compare him more to, Jameis Winston. Now, hold on. Give it a second, okay? Don't freak out. He's taller, he's bigger, he's stronger, and he definitely can get out of pressure, but he doesn't have that, that nimbleness. He's not going to, get low center of gravity and then go the other way and accelerate. If you remember, Jameis Winston, week 1, actually evaded a Nick Bosa sack. So he does have some scramble ability, but he's not as kind of fleet of foot as Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray. So what I think that means is that the Niners are going to get home, get some sacks, get some pressure, and then maybe 2 or 3 times he's going to get away and make a big play. So it's going to be a mixed bag. But what I want to see is, does the rattle rush get to Pat Mahomes? Does he start speeding up his process because he's been hit so many times he doesn't want to, get hit anymore or be vulnerable, have the ball out? So does he speed up his process? And if he does, the Niners are going to win this game by a couple of scores, maybe 3. If he can stick with it and stay in the pocket and absorb that pressure, I think he's going to be making plays into the 3rd and 4th quarter, and it's going to be very interesting. But if the Niners win, that's how we beat them on defense. So now we're going to break down the 49ers offense versus the Chiefs defense. Well, number 1, we're absolutely fucking rolling on offense. And our run game is white hot. Mostert or Coleman, we just got to ride the hot hand like we've been doing all season. Remember, Coleman had a fucking day against the Vikings. So it's not like Mostert is, for sure going to be the lead back the whole time. I think Shanahan's going to try both of them out. Whoever's, hitting the holes right, whoever's having a day, he's going to stick with. Kittle and Juszczyk are just, they're doing like little zone games inside of the zone scheme. I've been watching, again, Alex Rollins. Check out his videos if you haven't checked him out. They are doing some high-level stuff, and Kittle is a fucking bully, man. He'll throw your ass out like yesterday's news, dude. Is that a thing people say? I hope. It's not great. Our O-line is healthy, and they're rolling, man. Garland's been incredible. He's filling in for Richburg. And let's talk about Joe Staley. He's healthy. He's back at it. He's athletic. Hell, he might play another year or 2. I don't know. But good for him, man. He stuck with it. He was here before the Harbaugh days, and they never got their Super Bowl. Joe Staley Definitely deserves it. Man, he's been a stalwart. Everybody's talking trash about Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's remember that he's 21-5 as the 49ers starter. In 2017, he took over a 1-10 football team when he came over from the Patriots, and when he started for us, we went 5-0 for the rest of the season. So you're fucking crazy if you think Jimmy G doesn't have what it takes to get into a shootout. He definitely does. But he really excels on third down. Now think about this. The last 2 games against the Vikings and the Packers, there haven't been very many third and longs. We've just been driving the ball down the field with the run game. You haven't really needed Jimmy G. His superpower is converting third downs. We haven't really had that many opportunities to use him. So I think Shanahan has gone to the run. It's a move out of strength as opposed to out of fear. He's not afraid of Jimmy G. The running game is so white hot that he's saying, of course, let's just keep doing this. And the benefit of that, the huge advantage that no one's really talking about, or some people are, but those people are smart, is that they haven't put really any passing plays on film in the past 2 games. And then you think about there's been 2 buys in between that amount of time too. So for over a month, we haven't been putting any passing plays on film. If the Chiefs want to go back that far, they can go back to like the Seattle game and look at and study film of how we pass. But, they may just stick with really focusing on trying to take away the run because that is what is killing people. So what that means is they're primed to be taken advantage of in the air. And the Niners passing plays are based off of play action. They're based off of faking a run and then hitting you over top. So they are super primed to have some giant pass plays in the Super Bowl. And who knows if the running game is even going to get slowed down. I expect Jimmy G comes out. He's throwing a lot of little screens and dump offs for the first drive to kind of subvert the expectation that we're just going to run the ball. And I have a feeling that's going to work really well. And then we get back to the running game. If that clicks, the Chiefs are in a world of trouble at that point. And so another thing to consider is that this is another week where we have extra time to prepare. We had bye weeks. We also had these like mini camp weeks, before the game against the Bengals. We stayed in Youngstown, Ohio. The whole team stayed together and they worked on their craft. They have nothing to do but work with each other to come up with ideas. So against the Bengals, the Niners came out and had all kinds of trick plays and I think we scored, 41 points on the Bengals. We scored over 40 points on the Bengals. And then that happened again after the Ravens game. We stayed in Florida and the Niners again worked on a bunch of stuff. That the next game was against the Saints. So just huge trick plays the whole game. Again, we scored 40 points. Shit, I just convinced myself the Niners are going to score 40 points in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to change my prediction. I haven't said it yet, but I have it written down. So what that means is you're going to see a lot of reverses, a lot of end arounds, flea flickers. Hell, Jimmy G might even catch a touchdown like the Philly special. Mark my words, that is something that could happen. That's a prop bet you want to take. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. But the prediction, the Niners are going to roll early. They're going to get up by, 21 points. Mahomes is going to fire up, just like Aaron Rodgers kind of fired up in the middle of the Packers game. But they're not going to be able to stop our offense, and the Niners are going to cruise to a 41-21 victory. Oh, man. Wasn't that fun? Didn't you enjoy that one? It was good. We had a good chuckle. All of us here at Niner Notion, just me and Chaz, want you to subscribe to our channel. So please do so. And we'll see you around.